Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. In today's video, we're going to talk about the two most common sales approaches, which are the ABC method. It stands for always be closing. Now, if you're already in sales, you've already heard of this before. This is probably the most popular, the most common. The other approach is the ABR method, which stands for always building relationships. Now, to me, I don't necessarily subscribe to the ABC method anymore because it's really all about building relationships. Now, there's nothing wrong with the ABC method. I'm not saying that this is a wrong approach. I'm just saying that in most cases, most sales reps, most entrepreneurs that use the ABC method, I don't see it used in the right way. And what I mean by that is that when you use the ABC method, you're just focused on yourself, right? You want to close the deal, you're trying to get that commission. And you're not really focused on the client. You're not focused on, is this the right thing for the client? Am I solving a problem for the client? And so what tends to happen is, the client, after they buy from you and it's very high pressure, sometimes they feel like maybe it wasn't the right decision. Maybe they might resent it a little bit because they feel like, this guy or girl, he just pressured me into signing the deal, and then it wasn't really the right thing for me or for their business or whatever the case may be. And so that's basically what happens. You kind of you start to build up kind of a bad name for yourself, and eventually it's just word's going to get out that this guy or girl, he's just very high pressured, very pushy, and you don't really want to have that bad reputation. Because if you're going to plan on being in sales for a long time, you want people to want to deal with you, and as opposed to, hey, don't deal with them because they're pushy, they're high pressured. That's not really, you don't want to go that route, trust me. So the ABR method, you're really focused on the client. You're focused on, what are their needs? How am I going to solve a problem for them? And so you're kind of, you're being a consultant. You're basically trying to figure out, is my product or service going to bring value to them? So it's not just all about, yourself. Like I said, obviously we want to close deals. We want to make that commission as sales reps. But you're focused on the client, and that's the key. And in my opinion, that builds trust. That builds long-term relationships, that repeat business. It's gonna give you good referrals, good word of mouth, because if they have a good experience with you, they're gonna want to pass your information on to someone else that might be able to benefit from using your product or service. So for me, in my businesses, I don't preach the ABC method. This is not something that I like to employ because it's just not really a good approach. For me, I preach the ABR method. And so I tell my staff, hey, we want to build relationships. We don't want to just shove a sale down the throat of a client because it's going to be the right thing. It's going to be good for us. And so, so that's our approach. That's my approach. And that's an approach that works. I mean, now I'm not saying that, again, that this is the wrong approach, but if you use it the right way, it's beneficial. If you have to use it the right way, you have to have some sort of finesse when you use the ABC method. Because, for example, if I'm talking to a client and I realize right then and there, from talking to them that they're going to benefit from my product or from my service, then I'm going to try to close the deal. And I'm just say, look, are you ready to move? Let's go ahead and, let's get started. And I'm going to try to close that deal, right away. I mean, why wait? If it's something that's going to benefit them, it's going to benefit us, then why wait? It's a win-win situation. But if it's not the right situation for the client, then I'm not going to try to force it. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell them exactly how it is. And, if it's going to be not the right time for them, or maybe I see something else that they could do to maybe save some money or whatever the case may be, I'm going to let them know. Again, that's being a consultant. I'm going to let them know, and I'm not just going to try to force a sale. And so again, going back to the ABR method, that's kind of what that's kind of the approach, right? You're being a consultant. You're trying to, find some solutions. You're trying to, you're trying to bring value to the client, and so how do you go about it? ABR? How do you, what's the method to go about this? And so there's a couple different ways. I mean, obviously, for me, what I do is like networking events. I attend different networking events where, you basically go and you just kind of mingle with people and exchange business cards. You kind of get to meet maybe other people in your industry or, different industries. And so that's kind of, that's one of the ways. The other way is, Chamber of Commerce, which, any of you can do. You can join your local Chamber of Commerce. It costs, a couple $100 depending on where you live, but it's well worth it because, once you become a member, then they kind of promote your business as well. They put it out there to the other members. It's kind of, you might get some referrals, and, there's mixers and stuff that you can attend. So that's always a good thing. There's also, there's a website called meetup.com, and it's, there's so many different groups that you can join. There's, entrepreneurs, there's, things like happy hours. People organize these different groups, and they're all focused on different things, and you can attend. And it's a good way to meet people. So that's another thing that another method that I use is through meetup.com and attending different events. So you kind of have to get creative. It's really, again, it's about getting to know people, and sometimes you might meet someone and you're not really, it's not a good fit for you. You're not a good fit for them, but again, they might know someone that, they can say, hey, you know what? I know someone in this space that, might be able to benefit you. And then there you have a referral. So, and that's kind of what it's all about, some of the people that I see using this method a lot would be, a car salesman, insurance agents, because they want to close a deal right away. If you go to a car dealership, they want you to walk out with a new car. If you're, for example, like if you're shopping for car insurance or, life insurance, and you go to Google, you do a search, how you come to those landing pages and you enter your information on there. Within a matter of minutes, you're going to get a bunch of phone calls, and, different companies, different agents are going to be calling, giving you quotes, and they don't want to let you off the phone because they want you to make a decision right then and there. And that's a classic example of the ABC method. They want to get the sale right then and there. So basically these are the two most common ones. This is what I see a lot still. And again, it's mostly like with like new sales reps that I would say kind of use this in the wrong way. Now, if you're kind of a veteran already, then you already know all this stuff anyway, and so you probably use the same approach where you're kind of building relationships. But hey, if you see an opportunity where you're going to benefit the client and they're going to get value, then obviously you're going to try to close it, right? But you need to try to learn something about the client, learn about what their problems are, what are their pain points and things like that before you even know. That's how you're going to know if your product or service is going to even be beneficial for them. So, those are the two most common approaches. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please hit that like button, subscribe for new content that's going to be coming up, and catch you guys next time.